Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. Yes, we are continuing the topic division. So today first let us learn about division facts for a given multiplication fact. Recall that you can write two division facts for a given multiplication fact. Consider the following example. Now how is this possible? How can we write division fact for a multiplication fact? If you remember, division is just the opposite of multiplication. How do we divide? With the help of multiplication tables. Yes, with the help of multiplication tables we divide. So for every multiplication fact we can write division facts. Consider the following example. Multiplication fact: 12 into 5 is equal to 60. 12 5s are 60. Now what division facts can be written? The product is to be written first in both the division facts, children. Okay. Now 60 divided by, so first number is clear. Now divided by what? First if we take 12, 60 divided by 12, then the quotient becomes the other number here, other factor, that is 5. And if we divide 60 by 5, then the quotient becomes the other factor, 12. See, 12 into 5 is equal to 60. What is this? This is our multiplication fact. And from this we can write two division facts. In both of them, our product is to be written at first. Okay, so 60 divided by what? Now these two are called as factors. Yes or no? If you remember, these two are called as factors. If I am taking the factor 12, then my quotient will be the other factor, that is 5. Okay, now if I am dividing 60 by the factor 5, then my quotient will be the other factor, 12. Clear children? 60 divided by 12 will give me 5 and 60 divided by 5 will give me 12. That is, product divided by one factor will give us the other factor here. In the same way, if you want to find out what must come here, 12 into dash becomes 60. What did we learn just now? The product divided by one factor gives us the other factor. Yes, the product is 12. When we divide it, the product is 60. When we divide it by 12, that is one of the factors, we will get 5, which will be our other factor. Clear children? If you want to find one of the factors of multiplication, when the product is already given, you simply have to divide the product by the factor given. For example, 12 into dash is equal to 552. As I said, one factor is given and the product is given. If we divide these two here, the other factor can be found by dividing 552 by 12. Always the product is to be divided by. The product is the bigger number, so it will be divided by. So what will our other factor become? 552 by 12 divided by 12. Now if we take only the first digit 5, it is less than our divisor. So taking two digits at once, 55, we have 12 fours are 48, which is the nearest lesser number. We have 12 fours are 48, and then if we subtract, 5 minus 8 is not possible, so borrowing 15 minus 8 is 7 and bringing 2 down. Yes children, now we have 72. And how many times will 72 go in 12 table? 12 6 are 72. Yes, so 6 in the quotient and 72 written just below. Then if we subtract, 0 will be our remainder. What answer did we get? 46. Now what is this 46? 12 into 46 is equal to 512. Clear children? If we have one of the factors missing, then by dividing the product by the factor given, we can find out the other factor. 552 divided by 12 is equal to 46. Now here we are having an exercise based on the same concept. Calculate and fill in the missing numbers. Yes, how to calculate? See, in each of these, one of the factors is missing. Now what should you do? You should take the product, divide it by the given factor, and we'll get the other factor. For question 1, it would be 858 divided by 11. For question 2, 2000 divided by 25. For question 3, 8970 divided by 26. Clear, children? In the same way, try to find out the missing number for each of the products. In each of the multiplication facts. Okay. Now moving on to estimation of quotients. What is next? Estimation of quotients. In some cases, you may have to roughly estimate the quotient in order to get the idea of the quantity. If for a birthday party you are charged 5,934 rupees for 23 people, then by estimating the quotient, you can get to know the cost of food for one person. Estimation can be done by rounding off the dividend and the divisor. For example, see what are they saying? Estimation of quotients. Okay, children, already in addition, subtraction and multiplication, we have done estimation of sum, difference and products. In the same way, here what is quotient? Quotient is the answer that we get from division. So how to get an estimated quotient? Yes, we already know what are estimates, right? Estimates are not exact numbers. They are the nearer numbers to the exact numbers, approximate values. Now how to find out the quotient? If you remember, estimating the sums, what did we do? We rounded off the addends and then added both the numbers. Then we got our estimated sum. Yes, and even in the estimated difference as well, we estimated the minuend and subtrahend. We rounded off them to the nearest tens or hundreds, and then when we subtracted, we got our estimated difference. In the same way, for estimating our quotient, we need to round off both the divisor, dividend and the divisor to their nearest tens or hundreds. And then after rounding off, when we divide, we will get our estimated quotient. If you look at the example here, we are charged 5,934 rupees for 23 people. The cost of food for 23 people is 5,934 rupees. Now we want to know the cost of food for one person. How much did it cost for one person to eat? Now what are we doing here? We are just roughly calculating, finding out the estimate. The two numbers are 5,934 and 23. Now what about 5,934 rounded off to the nearest thousands? Yes, how will we do that, children? Look at the digit in hundreds place. It is 9. It is 9, that is, it is greater than 5. Yes, 5 is less than our number here. 9 is greater than 5. So what will we do? We'll round up. Yes, we'll round up. That means add 1 to the digit in what place? Thousands place. As we are rounding to the nearest thousands, adding 1 to the digit in thousands place. 5 plus 1, 6. And what about the remaining digits? If you look at 1000, we'll have 3 zeros in ones, tens and hundreds places. So here in ones, tens and hundreds places, the numbers are replaced with zeros. So 5,934 rounded off to nearest thousands is what, children? 6,000. Now coming to 23. Here tens is the highest place value. Yes, so rounding off this number to the nearest tens. Now 3 here is less than 5. So rounding down, what do we mean by that? The digit in tens place written as it is, and the digit in ones place is replaced by 0. So 6,020. 6,020 are our estimated dividend and divisor. Now when we divide these two, then we will get our estimated quotient. 6,000 divided by 20. Taking two numbers, 23s are 60. When we subtract 0, bringing 1 0 down. So 0, 20 zeros are 0. And we subtract again 0, bringing another 0 down. 20 zeros are 0 again when we subtract. 0 will be our remainder. What is our quotient? 300 is our estimated quotient. Clear, children? The division with tens, hundreds and thousands, we'll discuss it again. Okay, so don't worry if you did not understand it. Now coming to a second example, if 18 t-shirts cost 2810 rupees, then estimate the cost of each shirt. They're just asking us to estimate. If they ask, then find out the cost of each t-shirt means, then we would have directly divided these two numbers. What would we do? We directly divide. But here they are asking us to find out just the estimated cost. So what we'll do, we'll round off the numbers again. 2810. Here thousands is the highest place value. So rounding off to nearest thousands. 8 here in hundreds place is greater than 5. So rounding up, adding 1 to the digit in thousands place. Yes, 2 plus 1, 3. And the remaining 3 digits replaced with zeros. So 810 can be rounded off to 3000. And coming to 18, here tens is the highest place. So rounding off to nearest tens, children. 8 here is greater than 5. So rounding up, adding 1 to the digit in tens place. 1 plus 1, 2. And 8 becomes 0. So 18 can be rounded off to 20. Now what do we have? We have our estimated dividend and divisor. Now when we divide these two, 3000 divided by 20. Taking two numbers together, 20 ones are 20. When we subtract, 10 will be remaining, bringing 1 0 down. 25s are 100. When we subtract 0, bringing 1 0 down, 20 zeros are 0. And when we subtract, 0 will be our remainder. Yes, so 150 becomes our quotient. So one t-shirt will approximately cost how many rupees? 150 rupees. Clear, children? How to estimate the quotient? First round off both the dividend and divisor. Then divide them so that we'll get our estimated quotients. Now coming to word problems. A class of 27 students went for a picnic and the total expenditure of the trip was rupees 4968 rupees. Find the amount to be paid by each student. Now what are they saying here? There in a class there are 27 students, and what did they do? They all went for a picnic, and the total expenditure means what all they had to pay, like for the bus charges, and when suppose you have went to some Wonderla or other water park, then you have to pay their entry fee. So that amount and the food amount charged for the food that you have eaten. So all the amount that was spent was 4968 rupees. For how many? For these 27 students. Now we should find out the amount to be paid by each student. Yes, children, for 27 students it was 4968. So for one student it would be how much? Yes, we need to divide 4968 by 27. So if you take only the first digit 4, it will be less than our divisor. So taking two digits together, 49. 27 ones are. Okay, we'll do it here, right? 4968. Is it 4968? It's 4968 divided by 27. Yes. But before dividing, what should we do? It is better to write the 27th table on the side. Yes or no, children? So first let us write our 27th table here. Okay. Now if you take the first digit only 4 here, it is lesser than our divisor. We cannot divide. So taking two digits together. Do we have 49 in the 27th table here, children? No. It comes between 27 and 54. So what should we do? Go with the smaller number. Yes, 27 ones are 27. Remember to write 1 in the quotient. Then what should we do? We should subtract. 9 minus 7, 2. 4 minus 2, 2. We are left with 22. Bringing the tens digit down, we have 226. Now, yes, we should go with the, see here, 27 8s are 216, 27 9s are becomes what? 243. So which number should we go with? 226 comes between here. Should go with the smaller number. 27 8s are 216. Then subtract. Remember to write 8 in the quotient, children. 6 minus 6 0, 2 minus 2 1. Yes, so we are left with 10, then bringing the digit in ones digit down, 108. Do we have 108 in the 27th table? Yes, we have. 27 4s are, so 4 in the quotient, 108 here. When we subtract, 0 will be our remainder. Clear? 184 is our quotient, 0 is our remainder. Now what is the answer here actually? How much should each child pay? Yes, very good. Each student should pay 184 rupees. Remember, whenever you divide, the answer will be our quotient. Yes. So each student has to pay 184 rupees. That is our quotient. Yes, children. Now coming to the steps of word problem. First step would be number of students who went for the picnic is equal to 27. Then we have total expenditure is equal to 4,968 rupees. And then amount to be paid by each student is equal to how much? The total rupees divided by 27. Therefore, each student would have to pay how much, children? 184 rupees. That is our quotient. Next question. What is the least number that should be subtracted from 5,978 to make it exactly divisible by 71? Okay. So what does it mean exactly divisible? Exactly divisible means with the remainder should be 0. Yes, after dividing, the remainder should be 0. So first let us divide the numbers that are given. 5,974 divided by 71. 5,974 divided by what? 71. Now if we divide, see children here, let us divide here 5,974 divided by 71, children. So even if we take the first two digits 59, it is still less than our divisor here. It is less than 71. So we are going for 3 digits at once. We are taking 3 digits at once. If you look at 597, in the 71th table we have 71 8s are 568 and 71 9s are 639. Okay, so we do not have 597 in 71 table. It comes between these two. So which number should we go with? The smaller number. Yes, 71 8s are. So write 8 in the quotient and 568 below 597. And when we subtract, 7 minus 8 is not possible. Borrowing 17 minus 8 9, 8 minus 6 2, 5 minus 5 0. We are left with 29. Yes, children. Now bringing another digit down, that is 4 here. Now if you look at again 71 table, we have 71 4s are 284 and 71 5s are 355. See, we do not have 294 in 71 table. So what should we do? We should go with the smaller number. 71 4s are 4 in the quotient, 284 here. When we subtract, 0 will be our remainder. Now what are we observing here? When we are dividing 5,974 by 71, 10 is remaining. So it is not exactly divisible. Yes, the remainder should be 0. So for that, what we need to do is subtract this remainder from the dividend. Yes, if the dividend was 10 less, okay, 10 less, then the remainder would have been 0. So which number is to be subtracted from 5974? 10 is to be subtracted. The remainder is 10. See, in order to make 5974 completely divisible by 71, you need to subtract 10 from 5974. So when we subtract 10 from 5974, what will be left with? 5964. So when this 5964 is divided by our 71, we'll get 84 as our quotient, and then the remainder will be 0. Clear, children? Whenever they ask you question like this, what is the least number that should be subtracted from 5900 from any number to make it exactly divisible, it would be our remainder. If we take out the remainder, then when we divide, the remainder would be 0. That means the number becomes exactly divisible. So now here we are having few word problems to solve. Okay, I'll just the first one is, a person sold 18 balloons for 90 rupees. What is the cost of one balloon? Yes, children. Now this 90 rupees is the total cost of 18 balloons. Now we have to find out the cost of one single balloon. How will we do that? Divide the total amount by the number of balloons. Yes, 90 divided by 18. Coming to second one, Anu donated 98 items equally to 14 social service centers. Find the number of items donated by her to each center. What did Anu do? She had 98 items which she donated equally to 14 centers. Yes, she gave those 98 items in 14 centers, distributed it among 14 centers. Now what should we find out? How many items did she donate to each center? How to find out the total number of items divided by the total number of centers? 98 divided by 14. Next, there are 893 sweets in 47 boxes. How many sweets are there in each box? Again, the total number of sweets divided by the total number of boxes will give us the number of sweets in one box. For 893 divided by 47. Next, children, find the number of books in each row if 83 rows can hold 4482 books. Yes, the total number of books and the total number of rows is given. Again, divide the total number of books by the total number of rows. Next, yes, in the same way, the remaining 3 questions are also to be solved, children. All these are based on division only. In each word problem, you have to use the division operation to solve the question. Now coming to the last topic for today, which is problem solving using multiple operations. Now multiple operations means what? It is not the operations that doctor do on you. Yes, hand operation, leg operation. No. So these are our mathematical operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. The 4 basic operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. So sometimes you may have to use more than one operation in order to solve a given problem. In such cases, identify both the operations and solve the problem. What are they saying? Till now we solved word problems using only one of these. Only addition, only subtraction, only multiplication and only division. Now here we are having a problem where, what children? We need to use more than one mathematical operation. Consider the following example. Rahul bought 8 eggs, 6 bananas and 5 kgs of rice from a shop. He gave 300 rupees to the shopkeeper. Find the total bill amount and also find the balance that Rahul should get back. Yes, what are they saying? He took 8 eggs, 6 bananas and 5 kgs of rice. Yes. Now here what are they having? 12x is equal to 48 rupees. What is it, children? 12x is equal to 48 rupees. Now we need to find out the cost for 6 eggs. So for that, first what should we do? We should find out the cost of one egg, right? How will we find out the cost of one egg? Very good. Divide the total amount by the number of eggs. 48 rupees for 12 eggs. So when we divide, we have 12 fours are 48. When we subtract, the remainder is 0. What is the answer? 4. Now what is this 4? 4 is the cost of 1 egg. But what do we want? How many did we buy? We bought 6 eggs. So the cost of 6 eggs would be what, children? Very good. 4 into 6, that is equal to 24. Clear? First we had the cost of 12 eggs, which was 48 rupees. From that we find out the cost of 1 egg, that is 4 rupees. Now we want the cost of 6 eggs, right? So this 4 into 6, 1 egg. The cost of 1 egg into 6 will give us the cost of 6 eggs. The cost of 6 eggs is what? 24 rupees. Sorry, it was 8 eggs. Oh, so we bought 4 rupees was 1 egg and we bought 8 eggs. So 4 8s are becomes 32 rupees. So 32 rupees is the cost of eggs. Now coming to rice. Here 1 kg of rice is 35. What is 1 kg of rice? 35. So we need to find out the amount of 5 kgs of rice. How will we do that, children? Will we divide? No, we will multiply, right? We have the cost of only 1 kilo. To find out the cost of 5 kilos, we'll multiply the cost of 1 kilo into 5. 35 into 5. 5 5s are 25. 2 carried. 5 3s are 15 plus 2, 17. So 175 rupees is the total cost of 5 kgs of rice. Now coming to bananas. 1 dozen bananas are equal to 36 rupees. 1 dozen means what? 12 bananas. 12 bananas are equal to 36 rupees. And how many did we buy? We bought 6 bananas. Now to find out the cost of 6 bananas, what will we do, children? First we need to find out the cost of 1 banana. That would be 36 divided by 12. Yes, the total cost by the total number. We know that 12 3s are 36. So 36 divided by 12 will be equal to what? 3. Now what is this 3? It is the cost of 1 banana. Then the cost of 6 bananas would be 6 into 3. That is equal to 18. Yes. So 18 rupees is the cost of 6 bananas. 8 eggs is 32 rupees, 6 bananas 18 rupees, 5 kgs of rice 175 rupees. Now apart from that, what should we find out? Find the total bill amount. Total bill means we need to add all the items that we have purchased. 2 plus 8 10, 10 plus 5 15, 5 here 1 carried, 1 plus 3 4, 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 7 12. 2 here 1 carried, 1 plus 1 2. What is our total amount, children? 225 rupees. Yes, we found out the total bill. Then find the balance amount that Rahul should get back. Rahul gave 300 rupees to the shopkeeper. And what is the bill? The bill is 225 rupees. So how much? Rahul paid 300 rupees and the bill is 225 rupees. Now how much should Rahul get back? Yes, we need to subtract. The difference is to be received by Rahul. 300 minus 225. 0 minus 5 is not possible. So we'll borrow. Yes, children. First 0 becomes 10. The other zeros become 9. And the last number becomes minus 1. 3 minus 1, 2. Now 10 minus 5, 5. 9 minus 2, 7. 2 minus 2, 0. What is the remaining balance? 75 rupees. So the 75 rupees, what should this do? Should Rahul pay to shopkeeper? No. Shopkeeper should pay to Rahul. Yes, because Rahul paid extra amount than what was the actual bill amount. Clear, children? What did we do in this? We used all the 4 operations. We divided. Yes. See here, we divided to find out the cost of one item and then multiplied to find out the cost of the items. and then we added to find out the total bill and then subtracted to find out the balance amount. Clear? Now here we are having a few more problems, yes, which need to be solved using many multiplication operations. Let us see. Use the data in the given example uh, on the previous page and solve the following problem. What is this? With the same data, yes, this are the prices are same. So for the same prices, we need to find out. Rita purchased 4 eggs, 9 bananas and 10 kilograms of rice. She gave 400 to the shopkeeper. Find the amount that she should get back. Simple, right children? Just now we did the same thing, but only the quantities are differing here. Yes, our Rahul purchased 8 eggs, 6 bananas and 5 kgs. Now Rita is purchasing 4 eggs, 9 bananas and 10 kilograms. So find this out, okay? Coming to question 2. Kunal has to wrap 250 gifts to distribute to the guests at his daughter's birthday party. In the first hour, he wraps 50 gifts, in the second, 75, and in the third, he wraps 100 gifts. Now he has only few minutes left to finish this task. How many more gifts does he have to wrap in the remaining time? Yes, this is very simple, children. If you understand, what was the total? He had to wrap 250 gifts. Wrap means what? Cover it. Yes, on the gifts we put a nice gift wrapping paper, right, so that it looks colorful and neat. So like that, Kunal has to wrap 250 gifts. So first let us find out how many did he wrap. 50 plus 75 plus 100. The total comes to what? 225. How many did he wrap till now? 225. So how many more gifts does he have to wrap? The total is 250. But he has wrapped only 225. So how many are still remaining? We need to subtract. Yes. 5 minus 0 is not possible. Borrowing. 10 minus 5, 5. 4 minus 2, 2. How many gifts are left, children? Kunal still has to wrap 25 gifts in the remaining time. Clear? The last question for today. Shashank has 500 rupees. He went to the market and bought 2 kgs of potatoes at 40 rupees per kg. Then he went to grocery shop and bought 5 kgs of sugar. From there he went to a toy shop and wanted to buy a toy of 250 rupees. Is the amount left with him sufficient to buy the toy? If not, how much money more does he need? See, from 500 rupees, Shashank has already bought 2 kgs of potato and 5 kgs of sugar. So let us find out the amount. 1 kg is 40 rupees. Then 2 kgs becomes what? 2 into 40 is equal to 80 rupees. 2 kgs, 80 rupees. Now 5 kgs of sugar at 35 rupees per kg. 1 kg is 35 rupees. Then 5 kgs becomes what? 35 into 5. 5 5s are 25, 2 carried. 5 3s are 15 plus 2, 175. So 175 rupees is the cost of sugar. Now let us see how much did he spend. Okay, 175 plus 85, 5 1 carried 2. 255 rupees. How much did he spend, children? He spent already 255 rupees. Now how much did he have? He had 500 rupees. He had 500 rupees, spent 255 rupees. Now how much is remaining? When we subtract, we get 45 rupees. Sorry, 245 rupees are remaining. See, 10, 9, 4. 10 minus 5, 5. 9 minus 5, 4. 4 minus 2, 2. What is remaining? 245 rupees is remaining. But he went to a toy shop and wanted to buy a toy of 250 rupees. Okay. What did he do? He wanted to buy a toy worth 250 rupees. But what is he left with? he is left with only 245 rupees. Now with this money, can he buy the toy, children? No. So how much does he need more? If we subtract, we'll get 5 as our answer. How many rupees does he need more? Rahul needs he needs 5 rupees more. Shashank needs 5 rupees more to buy the toy as well. Clear, children, how to solve word problems using different operations, many operations at once.